When I saw this game, I knew my cold open was gonna be me singing the whole "Our house in the middle of the street" song, but this game got me good, because it literally opens with... I had next to no clue what Our House was gonna be about when I picked it up. I basically just looked at the cover and went, hey, this looks ugly. The back advertises creating my dream home by working on home improvement projects and being able to decorate with hundreds of items to choose from, so it sort of falls into the category of games I might actually enjoy. I had almost completely forgotten about this game until I was hanging out with one of my friends. She was casually looking through some of my games until she saw this one and pulled it out in hopes that it was a port of a Wii game she'd played back in the day. Turns out it was, and she recommended it to me on the promise that it was actually a lot of fun. I'm a sucker for a good hidden gem. I mean, it's one of the reasons I play these games to begin with. There's obviously gonna be some good games in the massive pile of crap I own. Magisco Entertainment. Always a pleasure seeing you pop up. This company is incredibly interesting because it tends to publish games that look horrendous but aren't entirely too terrible. It also published Cooking Mama, one of the best games that utilizes the DS touch controls properly, and also Monster Tale and Eco Creatures, two games that have been recommended to me before for actually being pretty good. Back to the word horrendous though, this art style is something else! It looks like a knockoff brand of characters you would see in a 5th grade math book. We have to choose between the two couples as our player and between the nuclear family that clearly plays tennis and eats caviar every breakfast, or the couple that actually looks like they know what a hammer is. I'm gonna go with them. Once upon a time, the newlyweds Brooke and Joe Newland, that's me, were in the rat race of the big city. All seemed lost until one day when we received a call from dear Uncle Sid. Oh, you okay there, Uncle Sid? I don't think I'm gonna be able to get over this art. It instills this sense of fear and laughter at the same time. It makes me incredibly uncomfortable. Uncle Sid calls us back to our town because he's in serious need of help renovating all of the houses, I guess. There's only like 3 houses when we come in, so I have no idea what Uncle Sid thinks is busy, but I guess we move back to town and get set up with a small cottage. After explaining the basic rundown of the central hub to us, we take on our first job, and oh boy, talk about a lack of communication. Not from the instructions per se, touch spackle should be a pretty obvious put stylus on out of place thing, but when I got to stirring the paint, the game had a purple circle around it, which I assumed I had to click to mix, but it told me I was wrong. I touched another can because I hadn't added any paint yet, but nope, guess I just have to stir, except that the stirring had such a slow response I thought my game was broken. Each game also runs on a timer, which adds a nice little extra challenge to them, but I really don't like how close it gets during the painting one, even when you know what to do. Okay, in retrospect, it wasn't that bad. I'm just getting old and senile. One more painting job and hey, I got a promotion! I'm now an advanced beginner, as opposed to like an apprentice or something. Something tells me they're really gonna try and stretch this game out. Oh, I think this guy is cursed with the worst face in this game so far. He's also not happy that my promotion is going to, I guess, bring more people to town. I don't entirely know how that would happen, but Brooke tells us to ignore our squeaky toy friend and furnish our humble abode. I would like to know how Brooke knows this dude, or why she's so sure I should just ignore his town gatekeeping, but I guess it's shopping time! One of the biggest draws of this game is decorating your house, so I went to the showroom and bought some cheap but still nice looking pieces to place in my home, just to spruce the place up a little bit. This was apparently a mistake though, because after placing them down and accepting the changes, the game gave me a big fat try again. Apparently, I bought the wrong furniture, so I had to do some extra jobs to make more money and buy the correct stuff. Because I guess I can't decorate my own house how I like despite being the breadwinner in this house, Brooke. So yeah, Mrs. Needy over here apparently wrote up a specific list of furniture to fill into the tiny cottage that I have to spend my money on instead of the furniture I actually like. A trip back to the showroom has me in the negative, so now I have to take on more jobs to afford the rest of this ugly furniture my wife wants. It keeps playing out like this through the entire game. Do more jobs to get more money, to buy things, to sell the house, to buy a bigger house, all while some very, charming individuals try and add a little extra life to the game. After each job, I have to redecorate the house, which is incredibly annoying because the controls for moving the camera around are super finicky. So placing something can be super frustrating when you're too close to an edge, as the camera will start moving, making you have to reposition yourself carefully. I think some of these minigames purposefully try and come up with dumb things to do just to elongate the game, like the tiled floors game. Remove these old, ugly, bright green tiles and replace them with this slightly less ugly tile. But then you have to sweep the floor from just an incredible amount of dirt. Look at this. This isn't residual dust from tiling. Someone came into this kitchen and dumped a pile of dirt on the floor and kicked it around a bit. After a hard day's work, I'm once again promoted, this time to Seasoned Apprentice, which is incredibly important as I now need a new house because of a baby boy. I kinda figured this game would give our character a kid eventually, but this early? Man, you really are living the life, huh, Joe? But struggling to support my family life. Luckily, taxes, bills, and food doesn't exist, or else you wouldn't have the money to purchase all of this furniture. Back to it though. Remember how I said this game might be adding random things to stretch out the jobs? Yeah, why am I chasing rats out of this house? I'm a contractor, not an exterminator. How did these mice even get into your home to begin with? And why are there so many of them? What is going on? Squeak Toy over here also chimes in later asking if I had seen his pet mouse. He's small, furry, looks like a mouse. If there's one thing for sure, our house definitely doesn't gain any points for being funny. Have I mentioned yet that I really don't like these caricatures they call NPCs? Aside from the off-putting art, a majority of them are also super annoying. You've got the pretentious artist, snobby rich girl, racist stereotype. None of them have anything particularly interesting to say except for the occasional quip. Storage pie, tastes like everything. Nothing like the taste of the entire universe for breakfast. What are you talking about? I'm supposed to trust you with keeping my extra furniture safe, but you're over here making pie out of my storage? Okay, putting aside the NPCs, the minigames are pretty darn playable. A lot of them are watered down by the fact that after each one, you have to furnish the place up again, so you're left struggling with the camera as you try and make it halfway decent to get the gold medal for bonus money. One minigame, however, made me almost break the game in half. This dumb fireplace one has you throwing bricks against the wall to place them, because just moving them over is for common folk, I guess. But you can see, on these bricks, I was totally on target, and it didn't count. You know what did count, though? Tossing it on the ground, apparently. But only this time, not the other 5 times I did it. And it doesn't even stop there, because after I finally built the thing, I had to shove the mantles together, and the top one practically refused to go down. I hate you. And now I'm playing Ghostbusters. Why are there ghosts? Why am I spinning ghosts out of existence? Why do I throw mice out of houses? Why am I throwing bricks at a wall? What kind of void did I fall into that this is forcing me to do all of this? Another child? I've only done like 5 jobs since the last one. How is that even possible? Okay, that's fine. I have enough money to buy all the crummy furniture you want, Brooke. Let's just sell the house and get a new one to fit our way too quickly growing family. I have quite a bit of money left over, so let's start filling up the house with Brooke's checklist. How much? Almost $4,000 for a hammock? $4,000 for a bed, for an armchair. Don't even get me started on how much these painting costs. Oh no, this house has to reach $1 million? My last place only sold for $400,000. The amount of money I make for each job is not sustainable for your bullcrap needs, Brooke. I'm sick to death of you. I want a divorce. Okay, I may have gone a little overkill, but come on. For a tiny little minigame filled game, this is just a ridiculous amount of filler. I'm done. I do have to give the game props on loading times between menus. It's so quick that I found myself exiting the game by accident quite a few times. There was even a time I moved so quickly I wound up in the credits, which was a shocking revelation. Just like, a lot of people worked on this game. Like, too many people. You know only one person made Stardew Valley? Less people made Subnautica. I could understand if like 5 people worked on this game, maybe even 6. But 19? What were half of you even doing? If the game didn't inflate so much 3 houses in, I could have seen myself continuing to play it all the way through just to see what other nonsense happens, but I just can't. Aside from that, the game isn't half bad, but it's not half good either. It's in this weird lukewarm middle ground of could be played if you were out of literally everything else.